Hello, accountability buddies. This is Les, and another episode of Less is More Healthy. And I'm back at Salem Willows. Again, I don't know if you can identify where I'm at from what's outside the windows. I'm in the free parking lot. I'm going to do a short loop today, just because I'm running behind on time this morning. I realized after I got onto the main road in my neighborhood that I'd left my wallet and work keys and key card at home, so I had to turn around and go back. And I just feel like I'm out of time. And that's a pretty consistent feeling that I've been having for like the last 3 months. Not having quite enough time to do all of the things that I want. And this goes back to that work-life balance thing that I've talked about repeatedly and often. And I have all of these things that interest me, right? Like, I got bikes, I got art, I've got work, I've got the printmaking stuff, which goes into the art thing. I've got blog writing, I've got these vlogs that I'm doing. And, the vlogs don't take that much time anymore because I minimally edit them. I shoot this is a soundtrack for the whole thing. And then I typically take either videos that I've shot that day, or stuff that I've shot over the weekend when I'm riding my bike. And I started using real-time bike riding videos because I really didn't like the super sped up bike riding videos. I didn't like how it looked. So I'm using real time, and I like that better. I like how it feels. It's a little more relaxing. So that's what I'm doing for the videos now. So the vlogs really don't take that much time, and I'm doing those typically before I leave the house. I have my morning coffee, relax a little bit in the morning, and then I have my morning shake, and while I'm having my morning shake, that's when I do the video. But one of the things that I haven't been making the time for as much is my home art making practice. And part of that is, I'm finding that the health and fitness stuff is taking up a lot more of my time than I think I really expected. And like I said, the vlog doesn't take up a lot of time. It's the actual walking. It takes hours. On my weekends, I'm doing like an hour of walking in the morning, and then on the weekends, I'm walking for several hours, I'm riding the bike for several hours, and it's just, not conducive to doing everything and anything. And that's part of finding balance in life. It's like, the reality of life is that I cannot do everything. I can't do all of the things. And one of the things that is unfortunately sliding right now is making art. I just don't have the time. And I think part of it is like a lot of my creativity is being taken up by work. The work that I do is based in creativity. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm just saying, like, I'm using work as a creative outlet, as well as these vlogs. These vlogs are a creative outlet. And so those are filling that creative, artistic void for me, that normally, I would be using at home with gel printing, working my art journal. And I'm not finding that as necessary because I have the art making at work. And I think that's one of those things where now that I'm working in a space that is creative, and I'm surrounded by creative people, I don't find it as necessary to continually make art outside of work. And art doesn't feel like work, at home. It's just, it's not why bother. It's more like, okay, I made art at work today. I don't feel like I have to make art at home today. And I think that's an interesting kind of like shift in my brain. There were times, like when I was an art teacher, there were times when I was not making my own artwork. I wasn't surrounded by creative people. I was surrounded by incredibly negative people. Some of the teachers that I worked with were incredibly burnt out. They were underpaid. school was understaffed. Walking into the staff lounge was a miserable, unhappy experience. And some of the people I worked with were wonderful, happy people, and they avoided the staff lounge, which was not something I learned at 22 years old. I was hanging out with the real negative, burnt out teachers, and it made my teaching experience a horrible thing. But when I was doing that, because I wasn't making, even though teaching art is a creative practice, there are creative aspects to it. I was going home and I was also making art. It also didn't help that I was going through a pretty horrible manipulative breakup. But besides all of that, all of these things, everything takes time, and you gotta sleep, and then you gotta eat, you gotta do all of these things, you gotta maintain the home. So it's just like, I'm finding that balance. I'm making time for my health because I need to be healthier. If I want to do these other things, I have to be healthier. I have to, work on my blood sugar levels. I have to exercise, because if I don't, the consequences for not working on my physical health are incredible. And I'm seeing really good progress in my numbers, and I'm going to talk more about, I had blood tests on Tuesday of this week. Was it Tuesday? Yeah, yesterday I had my blood tests. I've got the results in. They're positive, and I'll talk more about that in episode 80. Like I said, I'm going to try and keep those health updates, the number updates, to the tens episodes. So any of the multiples of tens, those are when I'm going to do those important health updates. But yeah, finding time to exercise is incredibly important. And I've said it again and again. I've got people in my life who also have type 2 diabetes who have made the choice not to change their diet, not to add exercise, not to take medical recommendations. And I've seen the consequences. The consequences are dire. I have a friend who is actively dying. It's incredibly upsetting to watch and see, especially when I know I'm making the changes that person could have changed and they wouldn't be dying. And maybe they would be. Maybe things had just gotten so bad for them in terms of their physical health. But I also know I am making the changes so I don't have that happen to me. I would like to hit 50, 60, 70 years old and not be on fistfuls of medication, not have to need dialysis, still have my eyesight be better or be acceptable. So it's just like all these things are like going on in my head as I'm thinking about my health, as I'm thinking about the fact that I haven't made art in a while. I've got art packs to send out to my Ko-fi supporters. So thank you to all of you who have come over here and are watching this. I do have art packs for you. I haven't mailed them out because again, like finding that balance in life has been very difficult. And like those little things get pushed off to the weekend and then I forget them on the weekend. And I also, like, another thing that I'm looking to do is I've got to organize the home office. The home office at this point has become just a dumping ground of art supplies, bike tools. Well, not so much the bike tools, but like bike parts that come in. I keep them in the office until they get ready to go on the bike. So I've got a shoebox or a couple shoe boxes full of bike parts that need to go on a bike. And it's a disaster. So basically, I'm like thinking about all of these things and all of the stuff that I need to do, to kind of organize my life and get things back on track. And my health is back on track. My art making is not, my personal art making, is not back on track. So I really need to get back to that art making process because it's a key component of my mental health. It's something that just really helps me in my life. And, I really also want to continue making videos for Comfortable Shoes Studio. I've had a number of problems come up with that, and I should shoot a whole other vlog for the Comfortable Shoes Studio, YouTube channel. But, my street is getting ripped up. So, the street there's construction. Every other morning I'm waking up to construction vehicles on the street that are they're starting at the public works and then they're heading out to where they need to be for the day. So like, generally speaking, it used to be that I would do voiceover work first thing in the morning, when I'm also shooting this vlog, or editing the vlog rather. And that's just impossible right now. Even with the soundproof box that I've been using to speak into, I am just not getting good audio for that. And I'm not even trying to get the cleanest, best audio. I'm just trying to get decent audio. And it's just not happening. There's just too much background noise with my decent, because I have a better microphone now, it's picking up so much more. And so the audio is it's garbage. And getting that editing of the audio so that it's something that you can actually listen to has been almost impossible. Editing at night isn't working either, because the street parallel to mine has become louder and more trafficky. My street, people are using that as a cut through, so there's constant motorcycles and Harleys and crotch rockets going up and down the street. It's just a lot louder than it used to be. And so recording good audio has become very difficult. I can't record audio in my studio at work because there's a overhead air filtration system. So there's this constant hum. I've tried, narrating things as I'm making the art, and nope, that's not working either. So there's just a lot going on. There is a sound booth at work, and I could probably bring, if I had a laptop, I could take that in with me, and get that recording. But unfortunately, all of that is kind of, a pain in the butt. It's just not working great, and I need to figure out some sort of system for recording the voiceovers on those videos for the Comfortable Shoes channel. I've lost tons of subscribers over there. It was like 20 in the last 2 months. I'm getting really close to 5,000 again. So yeah, I need to work on that channel, and I'm at a loss for how to work on it and make it work. But anyway, this channel has become the primary importance to me because my health is my primary importance right now, and it's something that I have to work on. But anyway, I'm probably going to shoot some sort of vlog for that channel as well. People do seem to like that well enough, especially when I'm explaining why I'm not shooting videos. So, with that, I'm going to go get in a very windy, short walk, probably about a mile before I head into work. Hopefully be able to make some art this morning. And, yeah, so that's where I'm at. And so again, I want to thank all of you for being here, subscribing to the channel, watching these videos. The thumbs up, likes, comments are super motivating for me. I really appreciate it. And, with that, I thank you, and I'll see you next time.